Hey friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Board. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Um, I don't know if it's that the keto diet I've been doing. I'm not sure if I'm in ketosis or not. I did have some bread um, Saturday night and stuff, and I don't know if that knocked me out or not from it, or if it is just the adrenaline from the experience that I had here. Oh my God. But I have been up since 3:30 in the morning. I've actually been posting stuff to Instagram, pictures for some of the great fans and stuff that were out there that showed me so much love. Oh my God, you guys showed me so much love. It's incredible. So I've been working on trying to edit some videos and things, and I've got. I think it's actually gonna be kind of funny because as I was living through that game, I was just like, oh my God. And I just started doing these video clips of, and I would say star date, 1 minute, 58 seconds left to go, and describe what's going on and get some clips and things in there. So I'm working on editing that so I can put it up. But it was, God, the emotions you go through being a Dallas Cowboy player. I mean, fan, excuse me. I got to tell you that I've been to a lot of games in Dallas, not as many as I would like to, but I have never felt AT&T rock like that before. That place was electric, and for the first time, I felt like we're making some noise. They got the guys out there with the decimal meter, and I think it was hitting 106 and 108 and everything else. I don't know how I was up on the 200 level, so I could get video and pictures and stuff instead of being in the Miller Lite Suite. The Miller Lite Suite is incredible because you got the players that are coming in and all that, but it's a ground level suite, so you're standing and you're looking basically mostly at the jumbotron. You're behind the players. It's great, but as far as trying to capture the game and everything else, it's hard to capture that. And the other problem with that is with my knees. Um, it's hard to just stand for 3 or 4 hours there. In fact, my knees are killing me this morning and all, but all the pain was definitely worth it. But that place was truly rocking. Now, one of the reasons why I started this channel to me was because you always hear so many of the experts, and of course, they're on TV. They're former players or, they've been analysts for all these years. So you figure they are the experts. They're the guys that know. But football is one of those crazy sports that things you think make sense don't. Think about this. Going to the season, everybody said, oh, the Philadelphia Eagles, that team is the best team in football. They could go back to back. Carson Wentz is coming back from injury, man, and he's going to be ready to rock and roll. And even if he's not ready just to start the beginning of the season, it's okay. You got Nick Foles because we're going to pay him $14 million a year because he's a Super Bowl champion, and we have that guy, in the gun just in case, ready. So we got plenty of ammunition. You look at all of the players, and they go out and they get a Golden Tate during the season. You had running backs galore, Jay Ajayi. And, that defense, oh, let's add a Michael Bennett to the mix of things. And you looked in paper and it said, wow, that's an incredible team. Yet, not there. You looked at teams like Minnesota. Oh, my God, Minnesota Vikings defense was incredible. Their problem was they didn't have a quarterback. They got a quarterback, and guess what? They're not doing it. How many times have we looked at players that they say are can't miss players that miss, and guys that are overlooked become the best players in the league? So what we've been told is that this is an offensive league, that it's all about the points, baby. You've got to be able to score at will in today's football. Pump the brakes a little bit on that one. What we've seen is the Dallas Cowboys, let's face it, they got rid of Dez Bryant and they brought in Alan Hearns and Thompson. They drafted Michael Gallup. They brought in a lot of new pieces, and it took time for them to get together. But the reality was, you did not have the talent like you did of a Dez Bryant. Dez, incredible player. Dez has his quirks like anybody else. Um, and you let that go without the replacement. Well, Amari Cooper is that replacement. But be that as it may, we'll talk about Amari Cooper, and his numbers are incredible. We'll go into that in a bit, in another video. But as they tell you that, the Cowboys, you know what, and we've been hearing this for several weeks now, great defensive things, but defenses are irrelevant. You don't need defense anymore. It's all about being able to light up the scoreboard. And when it came to us playing against the Saints, you know what we heard? Ain't no way in the world you're going to keep up with the Saints. Saints scored too much points, man. Too many weapons. And the Cowboys, they just can't score enough to keep up with those guys. Defense, who needs it? But yet, the Dallas Cowboys defense took that New Orleans Saints offense and held them to 10 points. They beat them down. And I gotta tell you, it makes you kind of say, okay. And what you hear, of course, now, after last week, after we did that, they said, yeah, well, the Cowboys did that, but that's the exception and not the rule. And then here we have the Chicago Bears, the new monsters of the Midway. Not with the greatest quarterback in Aaron Rodgers or anything, or an offense that's going to light you up. They played the Rams. The Rams that were beginning to look kind of like the greatest show on turf. Their defense has fallen off, even though they got Aaron Donald and, Namina Sue and all that stuff. They're not a great defense. But that offense, Jared Goff, Jared Goff, after they got rid of Mike Fisher, he's been lighting it up. And that offense has been just shooting. I mean, the points, just after points after points, just going crazy. And yet, the Chicago Bears, another defensive-led team, they beat the Rams. Okay, so one you can say is an anomaly. But now you've seen what people say are the two best teams, in the NFC. The Saints and the Rams both get beat down by teams that were deemed offensively challenged, but great defenses. I'm from the old school. Offense, everybody loves to see a big touchdown play. Everybody loves to see a big run and things like that. As they say, offense puts fans in the stands. It's true. You got a great offense. Fans love it. Chicks dig the deep ball. But as they say, defenses win championships. And for the first time since the 90s, we have a dominating defense. A defense that will stop the other team. It used to be with Tony Romo and stuff, more times than not, it was like, oh God, please don't leave any time on the clock. Please don't put our defense out there. And I said all offseason, I'm hoping that we get a defense that instead of being the redheaded stepchild that you got to protect, that you got to, and you just didn't want them on the field. I said, I wanted to see a defense that we can say, yeah, our defense is out there on the field, and they're going to kick some butt. They're going to get the ball for the offense. They're going to give them a short field. They are going to be the big brother, and that's what that defense has become. Now, when it comes to playoff football, when it comes to late in the season, I know a lot of people always say, well, the weather gets cold, and more than likely, if we got to go to the Super Bowl, it's going to go through New Orleans. You got to play in the Mercedes Dome. And the weather's not a factor there. But one of the things, they always say that a running game and a defense is better late in the season and playoffs. And it's not just because of the weather. The other reason is when you play 16 games in the NFL in a season, you see guys that are just beat up. It's a marathon. It's a sprint. These guys, what they do to stay on the field is just unbelievable. But everybody at this point of the year is beat up and they still go. Zach Martin has been playing with a bad knee, and hopefully, they don't believe there's any structural damage. He's getting an MRI today, and we'll check that out and find out. But everybody is beat up. But if you have a Zeke Elliott type of a guy, you get late in the season where guys are bruised shoulders and things, or they've got pectoral partial tears they can't wrap up. They've got sprained ankles or bad knees and can't move quite as much. If you have a running game, you're able to just pound those guys into submission. And those are the makings of the things, to me, that give the Dallas Cowboys as good a chance as anybody else. So don't go for all the hype of, if you don't have that offense, you can't succeed in today's NFL. What you may be seeing is the next trend in the NFL, where defenses start coming back in style. Well, guys, I got a couple hours left before my plane takes off. I'm going to go downstairs and get some breakfast and get back to Virginia. And hope you guys tune in tonight for our live stream. It's going to be fun. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I get home, land I think at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and just can't wait to get back to the studio. I love to travel, but I certainly love to get home. I hope you guys enjoyed what we brought to you on this trip. I worked my butt off to try and get you guys the best contact that I can. I know I'm not the greatest when it comes to technology and things, film work and all that, but we're going to work hard to keep getting better. Whew. Enjoy this Victory Monday. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you guys soon.